Hey, this is Meredith Elliott Powell, and you know what time it is. It is 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning. It's my favorite time of the week because I get to hang out here with my partner, Mark Hunter, and talk about one of our favorite subjects, sales logic and sales. Now, I got to tell you, it is impressive that Mark is here this morning. This man has done 2 red eyes this week. I don't know anybody better qualified to talk about sales than an incredibly busy, booked person. So, Mark, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. I am on my second cup of coffee, but hey, you're out there crushing it too. I mean, you were in Fort Worth here yesterday, and of course our paths crossed, but no, we didn't cross. We weren't able to connect for a few hours. And I mean, you're crushing. You did 6 events this week, so hey.
Yeah, I gotta say, Fort Worth, Texas, love Fort Worth, Texas. Oh my gosh, I wasn't there very long, but what a great town. I don't get to speak there very often, but anybody wants me back in Fort Worth, I would come in 2 seconds.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
All right, we got a dynamite show for you this morning. Let's go ahead and kick it off and dive into this powerful topic. All right. Once again, it is 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning, time for Sales Logic. Now, before Mark tells you everything that we've got planned for you this morning, I like to tell our listeners how the show works because we love to start off with a question from you, the audience. So you got anything that you need to know that can make you more effective in sales, just reach out to Mark or reach out to me or go to saleslogicpodcast.com. You can also check out our mastermind while you're there. This is a powerful group of individuals all designed to put you in a position to elevate your sales game. We cover a hot topic, we do a lightning round, and cover a book. So Mark, what is on tap for today?
What's on tap is, hey, the topic is your sales process ready for 2024? Stop and think about that. Is it really ready? Because we're right here on the eve of the 4th quarter. Question today comes from Matt, Miami. He says, we're starting to feel the shift in our market. In the last month, more than half of our reps are reporting their clients are highly focused on reducing expenses. This is both slowing down our decision-making and lengthening the sales process. We expect this to continue into 24. Just curious, thoughts on ideas on what my team could be doing now to prepare?
Oh, such a great question. You know, Mark, I think the answer to that question is no. Probably your sales process isn't ready for 2024 because it is, I think one of the most important things you can do to get ready for 2024 is, first of all, educate yourself about the marketplace. I mean, things are going to shift. However you'd like to label it. Mark doesn't like to label it with the R word. I kind of do. So it's cool to be different.
You can go ahead and say the R word if you want.
No, that's okay. It's cool to be different in those, but things are shifting. 93% of CEOs believe we are headed for recession. So because of that, it means they're already tightening their belts. Not necessarily, it doesn't mean they're not going to spend money because you can still grow and grow rapidly in it, but you've got to understand that things are shifting and making sure that you are showcasing the return on investment is going to be even more important as we move into 2024.
There's so much we can say there. In fact, let's deal with Roberta's question right here. She's a member of the mastermind. She says that she did a workshop with a client. It was great. How do I follow up to get more? See, this is one of the best ways. You've got to stay back in touch with them. And you've got to stay back. Every one of your customers that you sell to, this is, we talk about this. Things are slowing down out there. So you take that customer that you've already invested time in, you've done work for, you come back to them, and you get them to share with you how you help them. Roberta, ask the client, how did the work I do, how's that improving you? How's that improving your people? What are the results that you're getting? Let's talk about how we take it one step further. And you begin to get them thinking about what the next level looks like. Get them. And what's interesting is when you begin to get them thinking. I did this yesterday. I did some work for a client a couple months ago. We did a review on the results 60 days after the program was over. And we automatically came out of it with some next steps. So what did I do? I said, this is what I suggest we do. And you literally can get them to come up with the answer. Because to tie Roberta's question into Matt's question, customers are slowing down their decision, but they'll make decisions if it's their decision. You have to frame it as their decision.
Roberta, first of all, congratulations on doing a great workshop. We could do a whole show on your question right here, and we might just do a whole show on your question. I love that you've asked it, because whether the customer is inviting you to do more business with them or not, you need to take advantage of this. Number one, Roberta, the first thing you do is have confidence. You just did a great job, and they just told you they did a great job. Now think about it. Think about where their other pain points are in the company, the things that you've heard and learned from doing the initial interviews to get the deal to do the workshop. Now you need to go back and recommend the next pieces and the other things that they can do with you. There is never a better opportunity to get business than when you just did business that made the client happy. I'm going to give you a quick example. I was in Portugal working. In fact, I just shot a video about this. And my husband and I stayed and did a cycling trip with Backroads. We had an unbelievable time. We had so much fun. The moment I stepped back through the door from my trip, I got a brochure and I got a phone call from Backroads. And the brochure was all the other trips they offer. The phone call was, "Hey, Meredith, we just wanted to check in, see how your trip went." I said it was amazing. They said, "Great, let's start planning 2024. Do you know what I did? I started planning 2024, because that is the high. So right now, your customer just said, "We did a great workshop." I want you to go in with confidence, and I want you to go, "Fantastic. Now let's talk about some other things that we can do together."
The speed of the follow-up is everything. A number of years ago, I was doing work with the Blue Man Group. You know the Blue Man Group,
Yeah.
the people that throw stuff onto things in the audience and so forth. And their sales team, great sales team, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, we have these groups come in, they buy these group tickets, and then we follow back up with them." And I said, "When do you follow back up with them?" "Oh, well, we normally wait for like a few weeks or so." And I said, "No, follow up with them literally the next morning, because they're going to be on a high." And you know what? They began doing that, and the repeat bookings and so forth just went through the roof. Speed is everything, especially coming back to Matt's question. The economy is shifting. There's no doubt about it. Decisions are slowing down. Customers are being more hesitant buying. So you've got to make the move to be there right at that emotional high, right after that customer is done dealing with you, working with you. But it also begs this question. You may not think you've done a good job. You may think that, you may say that you sell software, you sell systems, and okay, the installation went a little wonky, things didn't quite work right. You still got to get in it, because this is the whole thing. That may be what you're believing, but you don't know what they're believing. You have got to stay focused, because the best way to turn your business around in 2024 is to make sure that you're maximizing every opportunity you created in 2023.
Yeah, we're recording this on September 30th. So tomorrow starts the end of it starts the last quarter of the year. And as you know, it's my favorite quarter of the year, because all of your competitors are going to fall off, because they're going to celebrate holidays and they're going to get lazy. They're going to go, either I blew out my sales goal, or I can't even reach my sales goal. Why should I try? But here's the other thing about fourth quarter that I want you to take advantage of. And Roberta, this really works for you as it relates to your question, is our spending time with clients in fourth quarter has two goals with it. Number one, we're going to land business. But number two, you're finding out where the pain points are for 2024. And they're going to shift into 2024. Listen, regardless of what you think is going to happen in 2024, the facts are that there's a lot of corporate debt out there, that we're higher with corporate debt than we have ever been. And interest rates, all of that is going to get refinanced. That is going to shrink spending in 2024. Energy prices are continuing to go up, and the stimulus isn't going to be in the economy like it was in 2023. It means budgets are going to be tighter. Now, what that means is you got to figure out, because right now, if I'm a CEO or a CFO, I am deciding I have this amount of money. I'm going to spend it for what pain points? What are my biggest pain points? So, Roberta, if I were you and I were calling this client, I would call him back and say, I'm so glad you had a great experience. I thought it was amazing too. Here are the things I believe that you got from it. Now I want to lay out a couple of other things based on what I heard you say. To Mark's point, this isn't your idea, it's their idea. They told you some other things. See, when we make a sales call, we're trying to figure out what the urgent need is, what the thing is we need to solve first. But we're still making a list in the back of our minds of all the other ways that we can help them that aren't as pressing for them. So that when we deliver, like Roberta just delivered, we can go back and say, okay, here's the other things I want to do. The last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to take a breath, is Roberta, you're so well positioned with this client because Mark and I have said the budget is tightening, but you're a known entity. You're somebody that they already know if they invest in, they're going to get ROI. So you're already ahead of your competitors with that. So it's a great place for you to focus your energy.
Now, we've been talking here about, people you're already doing business with. Let's flip the script here. Let's talk about customers who we haven't been able to do business with. I was part of an email exchange yesterday between a VP of sales, a couple of their account managers, and a major Fortune 500 company that said, you're too expensive. We're not going to buy from you. And the VP of sales sent me the email and said, hey, Mark, what are some suggestions? What are some ideas? And first thing I said is, don't let the account executive step away. You got to get back in the game because it was too expensive. Why? Only because the customer did not see enough value, which means, you know what happened? You probably put price on the table too early. And I was very explicit in my note. I said, let's walk through the process. Just because the account asked for the price, and this is what we're going to find here in a slowing economy. Customers want to know the price. Resist putting the price on the table until you understand what the need is that the customer has. Because if you don't understand the need that the customer has, price is totally irrelevant. You've got to, almost sound weird, but slow down the process in this slowing economy because the need is absolutely critical. And if I can tie that need back to a timeline, now I can begin to move that customer forward.
Yeah, Jeffrey's got a great comment here. Don't assume your best 2023 clients will be able to spend the same amount. Make sure you revisit their objectives and how you brought them value to continue helping them in 2024. So key. The other thing we want you to do in 2024 is call a spade a spade. I mean, be thinking now. You need to understand how the shift in the marketplace is going to impact these customers. And once you understand how it's going to impact these customers, then you can adjust your products and services to add value. I'll give you a quick example. I work quite a bit in the automotive industry. Now, they've already been disrupted like crazy. Rising interest rates are impacting them because people get auto loans. The electric cars are kind of wreaking havoc with their production and their supply chain. They're still having chip shortages. And now you add the strike into it, the auto workers striking. And now that's causing kind of a ripple effect in there. So now when I call on people in the auto industry, I'm just talking about those things and how I believe I can help their thinning margins and make them more productive. So I've repositioned what I do to address their exact problems. What does that do? When you understand where the shifts are coming in 2024, you address them. Now, all of a sudden, you look like a partner and a consultant. You get me. You understand what I am looking at in 2024, and you've got a way to help me navigate through that. You're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of your competitors.
I love that because you're no longer seen as vendor. You are not seen as vendor. You are seen as one of them, helping them navigate the solution. I got to go back to Jeffrey Hillen's question. Hey, I had a great time with you, Jeffrey, yesterday on your podcast. Thank you for inviting me on. It's amazing how this community just keeps growing and growing and growing. Jeffrey, you got to get Meredith on your podcast, okay? And I'm pointing in the wrong direction. I should be pointing in that direction. There we go. Anyway, let's go back to this whole thing about, are you seen as a peer? Are you seen? This comes back to, are you helping to educate your customers? Are you helping them to navigate? And one of the things that in this economy that we're in, as we prepare for 2024, want you to really look at the verticals that you sell into and look at your customers. And how can you help them downstream? How can you help them with their customer's customer? How can you help them with their customer's customer's customer? Because your objective, more than ever now, is to be able to bring insights to your customers regarding their customers going downstream that, you know what, they maybe have not even ever looked at. When you can begin to do that, then you're really in the driver's seat. And Meredith was talking about the automotive industry. That's a massive supply chain. And there's disruptions all the way through. So if Meredith can walk into some of her automotive industry clients and begin talking about upstream in terms of supply, in terms of all, guess what? She is viewed differently. If we're not viewed differently, we will not have a chance to be successful. Matt, this is your key right now. Your salespeople have got to be seen as the people who can bring them the answers. What does this mean? You got to take time to read. You got to take time to study. You got to take time to really understand. This is why I stress so much. Don't just spray and pray and take meetings from anybody who has a heartbeat. Stay in your vertical. Stay in your vertical. Become an expert in your vertical, and you'll be amazed at the success you'll have.
Yeah, so what does this mean for all of you who are hanging out with us here this morning? Let's talk about how you need to spend fourth quarter. Look as fourth quarter of, you're definitely going to continue to close deals, but you're going to do it in a way that increases your education. I'm going to share with you how I'm spending fourth quarter. So every year at the beginning of the next year, I put together a research study. Research how my particular topic is impacting American business. But I spend the fourth quarter of every year reaching out to my existing clients and saying, we're getting ready for our research report. If you don't do a research report, not a big deal. Just say, I'm getting my sales process in place for 2024. I want to deeply understand how things have been for you in 2023, the opportunities you see in 2024, the challenges you see in 2024. If you can reach out to your existing clients throughout this month or these next couple of months, asking these questions, powerful things are going to happen for you. Number one, you are going to find business and you are going to close business. Number two, you are going to deeply understand what is shifting for your client base. And with that, once you understand what is shifting for your client base, you can reposition your products and services to solve those problems. Listen, people will book you, where they will do business with you. They will take price off the table if you understand them, not if they understand you.
I'll tell you what, that is so key because it's taking the time. Hugh, thank you. Another mastermind member. Everything we do is for our clients and through our clients. Invest, align. This is why you got to take the time to talk with all of your clients. I love the fourth quarter for this. And if for nothing else, to start off the conversation, you're saying, hey, thank you for your business this past year. Thank you for your business. And let's start talking about next year. I mean, that it is an open door right now to call all of your customers. Because guess what? Just as we're starting to think about 2024, so are our customers. So if you can begin to help them, I love the ability of being able to take a day or take a few hours and you begin calling your existing clients. And you're going to begin to get insights. And then suddenly you're going to be able to be talking on the phone. You're going to be saying, hey, I was just talking to somebody else who was talking about this. I'm never revealing proprietary information, but what does it do? You're beginning to share other information that you learn. What does that do? It elevates you in the eyes of the customer. John, it jumps in research and become an expert and act as a consultant. This is the game we play. I tell you what, I'm pumped for 2024. Why? Because I intend to grab market share, however I want to define market share, because I know that I can help, and I'm going to steal a word from Meredith, bring certainty into an uncertain world. There you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see. Donna, this is a brilliant idea. I've done it. It works beautifully. Thanks for giving me my priority for fourth quarter. Fantastic. Donna is a rock star, a speaker and a consultant. She works in the senior living space, and really excited that she is here this morning. But, I tend to think of myself very much as a realist, and I'm a big data nerd. So I'm really interested in the numbers and where things are going. And there are just things that have stacked up in the economy that are going to put pressure on the business community next year. And your job as a sales professional, your job as a business owner, is to figure out how to help your clients navigate that. I was with a CEO and a CFO of an incredibly successful company this past week, and even though they're incredibly successful, I mean, this next year looks really good for them. They're in the healthcare space, and they're probably not going to feel too much pain. They're still watching the margins. It's just a mindset shift that when the media starts talking how the media talks, it's a mindset shift. And if you go with it, you're still going to grow. The bottom line of today's podcast is right now, you are not ready for 2024. Not a big deal. Spend the fourth quarter learning the information. And then over the holidays, as you move into January, or even just before the holidays, start thinking about how can I really reposition what I offer to add value and really help my clients navigate 2024 and 2025.
Yeah, and don't think there aren't opportunities out there, and don't think I was just with a company. They raised nearly 200 million in private equity funding just a few months ago. Now think about that. This is an unstable market. This market, wait, I thought PE had dried up, VC money had dried up. No, this company raised just shy of 200 million. There's opportunities out there, but you got to frame it. And this organization was able to frame it as they're coming into the marketplace with a solution for the marketplace. And see, this comes back to the whole thing. Can you define the need? Can you define the problem that you're solving? If you can't define the problem you're solving for your customers and have a way for them to understand that this is urgent for them to solve it, you will not be successful. Going back to our question with Matt, you know what? You have got to reframe how it is. Hey, time is moving along. We should jump into the book. I was not aware of this book.
But
I'm buying it because I went out to Amazon. I said, well, I like it. Yeah.
I love it. It's, I was trying to figure a way to see where it fit. And today's show was really the best. I received this from a friend of ours, Diana Demron, and she lives in Utah, and it's Civility Unleashed. She is a civility expert. And I feel like as we move into 2024 and we look at, oh, God help us, it's an election year, understanding how to move and act and bring civility into the sales process, into the workplace, into the way that you conduct yourself is probably going to be one of the best ways that you can some of the best ways that you can really thrive in today's marketplace. Mark, I was on an airplane last night and waiting for the airplane to take off, and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I saw a sales professional that I know in the marketplace making some pretty strong political statements on his Facebook page. And I thought, what a mistake. I mean, there were even some things that I agreed with in his political statement, but I was kind of offended by the fact that I thought, I don't want to be preached at. It's kind of like listening to somebody who, is in the music industry or an actor. Why are you telling me about politics? So I think we have to really move, especially in 2024, understanding that it's going to be a hot year, and keep our opinions out of things and work to build bridges, connections, and relationships with people. It's going to be one of the best ways we can be successful.
Yeah, in that regard, it's play the long game. We have to play the long game. So many Facebook comments, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, are X moment. I happen to be reading the new book, Musk. Isaacson just came out with the book Musk. Fascinating book, because this is a man who deals in the moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
And thus some of the issues that he has come. Hey, Natalie, another mastermind member, diversify offering and adjust to the market. Yeah, this is so key. The marketplace will take us to what we need to offer if we take the time to listen to the customer. This is so key, what we've been talking about. You've got to get right now, fourth quarter. This is the time to get out in front of customers and be talking to them. Okay, you ready for the lightning round?
I am.
Top 10 strategies to finish fourth quarter strong. Go.
Number one, make a list of all of your deals that did not close this year and revisit them. Just reach out, say, we're coming to the end of the year. I'd love to know how things are going for you. Just make that touch. 2,
come back to every one of your customers, your existing customers, your past customers, and ask them for a referral. Get referrals on the table right now.
Yeah. Number 3, you need a strategy. You need to really sit down and think about, you only have 3 months left in the year, a little less than that when you talk about holiday time. What's the highest and best use of your time? What behaviors will you do? How are you going to track and measure?
Picking up on that whole calendar thing. Lay out your calendar right now. What days are you going to be taking off? What days? Make sure you understand your company. Are there days that, this is the last day that orders can be submitted, shipped, et cetera, et cetera. Get all that on the calendar right now so you know exactly what you have to work with. Yeah. Number 5, I would say that you need to work your referral sources. Make sure that you have time in the next 3 months to sit down and check in with those people that send you business, that you refer business to, and just really kind of solidify those relationships. If you sell a product or even a service, get in front of your customers and tell them, hey, this is our sequence of things as we come into the end of the quarter in terms of this last day, orders can ship, et cetera, et cetera. Have those conversations now. Your customers are going to thank you. And you know what? Wow, I hadn't really thought about that. You're right. We need to be thinking. And it's amazing how much additional business you'll be able to pick up by being proactive in working with your customers in their calendar. Yeah, one of my favorite lines to use as we head towards holidays in November as well as in December is to just call my clients and say, look, I want to get about 30 minutes on your calendar. I know things are going to get tight with the holiday. I just want to make sure that we're in a position so that you can start 2024 off strong. I make sure I get that commitment and empathize with the fact that their time is busy, but I don't want them to lose time in January. Don't think for a moment that customers don't have money, because depending on how their fiscal year is, depending on how they budget, there are customers out there who have money to spend right now in the fourth quarter. Guess what? You better be finding out. How you find out? Really take a look. What's the fiscal year that your customers work on? And to come back and say, hey, ask them, have you got money in your budget? If so, let's get that spent right now with me. And number 10, following up on Roberta's opportunity, call anybody that you had a good experience with, somebody that you really delivered for and they loved you this year, and just say, I've been thinking about you. I know it's about the end of the year. A lot of opportunity coming in 2024. Let's just set up a call. I'd love to learn where your goals are, where your opportunities are, what you're challenged by. You do that, you're going to put yourself in a great position for 2024. Hey, I love Bryn has jumped in. We always love it when Bryn jumps in. Search your client connections to ask who they know about, somebody else that you can connect them with. Love that. Love that. Hey, with that, we want to say thank you for listening to Sales Logic. If you like what you hear, subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app. If something we've said has earned you a single dollar, would you consider telling a friend about our show? It's how we grow when we help you grow. And take a look at joining the Sales Logic Mastermind. I'm Mark. Yeah. And I'm Meredith Elliott Powell. For sure, I think we need to dive a little bit more into this topic and literally get our strategic plan in place as we get into the mastermind. But again, I'm Meredith Elliott Powell. And remember, when you sell with confidence and integrity, all of this uncertainty suddenly becomes your competitive advantage. And the sale becomes logical. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us. You are always the most amazing audience. We'll see you right back here next week. Remember, if you've got a question, go to saleslogicpodcast.com. Consider joining the mastermind, but go out and have a great sales week. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.